Now, SMCI is in a very important spot, guys. We've broken through this long-term resistance, and buyers are looking to push this stock all the way to that $66 level. Now, will the buyers win this fight, or will the sellers step in and continue to stay below this range? I'm going to take you guys to the weekly for a broader perspective. Now, on the weekly, guys, we see that price wasn't really doing too much, pretty stagnant. We get in this flag and pole structure. We break out very cleanly. Complete buyer pressure. Sellers are just not in this battle. You see a crazy run all the way from that $29 level to that 122 level. Insane price action. You really don't see that type of run often. We hit that top. We get in this range between this resistance and this ascending support. We flush that. We get all the way down back to that $17 level. And we're kind of bouncing around here with that stubborn resistance at 47. A little bit of back and forth between buyers and sellers. We hit that resistance again. We go further down. We find an ascending support. And we slowly squeeze out of that long-term resistance, and now we're testing that $47 spot right now, guys, trying to get above that. Price might be looking to claim that 47, then further claim that 66 and start to trend upwards. Now, guys, on the daily chart, we see a closer picture of where we hit that $66 level. We retraced, and we were kind of messing around in this zone for a while, claiming that $29 support and bouncing between that and the 47. Finding some ascending support along the way, and we get a nice breakout, guys. You see price getting these little ranges and continue to make movements. We see an ascending range, a breakdown, we get back up, get past that, fully break out of this range, cannot hold. Then we see another move down and another ascending type of range. We squeeze downwards, but we hold strong at that $29 level, chop around there, and then we see a nice break out of that level, out of that $37 point, and a nice little gap up after that. And you see price get really tight. You know, price is very volatile in this range, and this whole time it's been under this resistance. Very volatile price action, lots of back and forth. But once we get above this, $37 level, we see some seriously tight price action. We just kind of see it slip through. Buyers are gaining that control. We're getting really tight, bit of back and forth, but buyers ultimately get us out of that range. And once we're out of that range for about, say, 7 to 8 candles, we found a nice move up above 44, and then we find a nice move up above that 47. And now you see sellers mirror that candle almost just like the one we saw there, breaking out of it. And we hit that point of 49 before rejecting, currently trending around 47.50. So buyers are looking to claim this spot after being shut down in such a long-term resistance and downtrend for some time. We're looking to claim past this spot and then trend to that 66, not getting rejected like we did last time. We see price volatile swings up and down, volatile, finding some sort of resistance, ascending support, volatile, harsh move down, a rejection with a hard sell-off. And you see what price is kind of doing here, guys, just volatile nature. And this is the last point of real volatility, right? We get tighter in this range. We blow up, and then you see that tight price action. So after that volatility, we chop around. We see a nice move up and a gap up. A little bit of back and forth between buyers and sellers, but we're holding tight, and we kind of creep out of that resistance. We don't have a huge move up. Once we get out of that resistance for about, 8 candles, we see that nice move up. And then you see that sellers try to push it back down. Definitely a better sign for the bulls than it is for the bears, as this was a very back and forth battle with a lot of volatile swings. So to see us hit the top of this range and we hold up so nicely, we're not getting pushed back down in an aggressive fashion. That's very nice to see, and further backs our points on why we should be bullish on the stock. Ultimately, you want to see a stair step to this range. From there, you might see a lower rejection, smaller pullback, and then a retest and regaining that level, unless we just see a very insane move like we did right here. 1, 2, 3 candles of price action tapping that range. Since we have been a lot less volatile than we were in the past with this stock. And guys, as a trader, that means two things. One, it could mean that, yes, we are having a phase where we're a lot more tighter, so we could be gearing up, especially if volume's going to flush in here as we see it's slightly ascending. Could be gearing up for a very volatile big move up, pushing right over that level and trying to reclaim the 66, maybe 1, 2, 3 candles of price action that we saw there. But two, what it could also mean is that we still got that back and forth going. So you might see a stair step effect. Buyers push it back up, sellers try to push it back down, higher, low. Buyers push it back up, sellers push it back down, another higher, low. You can see a formation like that, a little stair step to that range and a breakout out of that. Now, this is a very pivotal point for the stock. If you see bears get into control here, if bears can reject us from here, could very well be testing that 44 or the bottom of this range, right around that $40 psychological level, talking the bottom of that range. Now, judging from the past, it's very likely that we see, if we get a hard rejection here, possibly consolidating between that 37 and 29 again, as we got a hard rejection there. We come back down, we get in that range for a little bit, break out, hard rejection at that point, come down, consolidate between those ranges. And then once again, we have that huge move up, huge correction, come back down, and we consolidate once again in this range. Kind of double bottoming with consolidation ranges, energy building both times. You see energy build, boom, see energy build, but we get that nice move up, and then you see that tighter price action and that move up. So that's where I'm thinking if we get a hard rejection here, we could very well be headed back to that consolidation range. I think it's somewhat unlikely. I think that we tested this zone once, tested it twice. Third test here, guys. Well, you could count this as a fourth test, but in more recent times, I'm talking, we have tested this zone quite a few times. I think if buyers can really pull here and volume can flush in, we could definitely see a nice move up, retesting that $66 level. I think we are prone to that. But keep in mind, guys, this is a pivotal point. As long as it stays under this range here, until we get that nice close, a couple candle close above that, showing that buyers are really claiming that level, I would trend cautiously. We definitely are still in a neutral market. You want to see a couple nice candles over that, getting well above that $47 level. So liking what I'm seeing, but look for that rejection. If we do get rejected at that point, I would definitely lean bearish for the short term. SMCI is very prone to these type of movements, guys. Just long-term buildups of energy and explosions up, right? This whole long-term range, as we saw that move to that 122 level as we were looking on the weekly, it was really a double bottom type of formation, right? Hit that point of around 17, you see a little bit of consolidation, then boom, it's off to the races. And once again, we come back down, hit that spot of around 17, and then you see a nice explosive move up. So it's really a long-term double bottom that we're seeing here, guys. And in the shorter term, we're kind of seeing something pretty similar. Although longer periods of price action, kind of see that double bottom of consolidation with that big move up, come back down, energy's building, and that nice move up once again. So I think that we are definitely seeing some bullish signs here. It's definitely contributing to why we would be bullish on the stock. We'll have to see if buyers can push it above that $47 level and reclaim that overall consolidation range of 47 and 66, and then try to trend over 66. Now, guys, on the hourly, we see how price made that nice move, that gap up, and we got over that $37 level very nicely. Trending to the top of that range, we get a rejection once again. Price is holding higher, making that higher low, as we see holding above, not getting back in this consolidation range. See an ascending profile, and we just kind of squeeze out of there. No dramatic move, we just kind of squeeze out. Maintain this ascending support. Sellers notice we get out of this range, they try to push us down. We hold higher, once again, higher low of this formation, and boom, right away, sellers try to push it back down. Once we really try to push that price pretty far out of this range, we get that bounce off using that long-term resistance zone as support, and then once we get that bounce off, you see that nice run up all the way till we get to that stubborn zone of $47, and that's where you see that sellers try to step in. But guys, I think the way that price is moving and price action from a TA perspective, what you'd see here is that smaller pullback from the sellers and then a continued move up, as we've seen in the more recent times, right? Big move up, smaller pullback, correcting only about half of this movement. Nice ascending move up. We have that higher low, not getting back to where we bottom right there, and we kind of have that ascending profile going on. So buyers are in ultimate control, and then we see that very nice move up, and so far we've only gotten price knocked back down this much. Could definitely be seeing a retest of that $44 level. It's definitely realistic here, but I think that buyers are going to find that move out of this range, reclaim that $47 level, and continue to trend upwards, guys. As a bear, watch for that price to come back down to the $44 level. See if we can get that bounce. If we can't get that bounce, as a buyer, you'd want to see it hold within this general range, and as a bear, you'd want to see it come back down. See if we can use that resistance as support once again. If we cannot, we'd be headed to that $37 level. And all the daily, guys, another thing I'd like to point out is we see that big move up and that gap up, and you see that price comes down, hitting pretty much right at the top of that gap up candle, and we hold higher, an ascending profile all the way up until we see that nice big move. So it shows that buyers are in the control. Sellers are trying to push it back down. They cannot correct, can only correct about half of that movement, and we see the higher lows coming into play and that nice move up. So my prediction is that even if sellers try to step in here, it will not be the full movement. If it is, we have to look for a bounce at the bottom of around this range, right around that 40 psychological level. And furthermore, from there, you want to see a bounce off this support level. Brutal resistance turned into support. If you can't do it from there, that $37 level. But my prediction is, guys, we see that leg up and we get above that $47 level, reclaim that, and then we trend higher to that $66 point. Now, that's all I got for you guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll continue to cover SMCI as well as other major tickers. Trade smart, and I'll see you guys in the next one.